Welcome, my name is Marcin Lewandowski and you are watching the Viewfinder on Adorama TV. In this episode, I'll talk about editing your collection of photographs in a way that makes it more enjoyable and easier to manage. Most of this episode will be based around the Lightroom library. I will also show some useful shortcuts which are the same for both Mac and PC. Deleting photographs, especially personal work, is not as easy as it seems and takes years to master, but it gets easier along the way. To give you an example, in my early digital days I was not only shooting too much, but I also had an idea that I must archive all images. This meant that even after Lightroom was introduced in 2006 and after I edited my photographs, I kept all the rejected stuff in place, just in case. This built up to over 500,000 raw files, and it became a library harder and harder to revisit. Last year, bit by bit, I got rid of almost half of my files, and I hope to reduce it further this year. Fingers crossed I'll find time for it. In terms of my current workflow, this is how I do my edits. The first thing I do after importing new photographs is to quickly run through them in Loop View, keyboard shortcut E, and mark as rejected any blurry, out of focus and other unusable photos. That's keyboard shortcut X. Once that's done, I then filter for the rejected photos and delete all of the original files. Now that I have a reasonably clean selection to work with, I run through the photographs again and mark with a 1 star anything interesting. Once that's ready, I filter for 1 stars in grid view, keyboard shortcut G, and mark them all with 2 stars. Then I filter for 2 stars, and photo by photo I get rid of any images that are weaker by giving them a 1 star. This process might sound a bit counterintuitive. However, editing in this way by removing the weaker images from the selection, the latest edit of your work is always on the screen. This process also reminds of working with prints on a table where I would shuffle them around, getting rid of photographs that don't fit in the sequence. I then repeat the same process for 2 stars by marking all as 3 stars and then downgrading to 2 star all of the weaker images. I will repeat this process again the same way up to 5 stars or until I have my absolutely best frames. I find that the easiest way to get rid of weaker images is by comparing similar photographs in survey mode, keyboard shortcut N, and downgrading directly in here. After completing this, I will usually revisit the lower ratings for one more run through to find any missed gems which might be hiding from my praying eyes, and in the end, delete anything with 0 stars. There will be naturally some exceptions which I will flag or color label on the go, but that's a whole new topic. This workflow leads us directly to having a collection that is more enjoyable to look through. Once you have less photographs, you will pay more attention to them. It will be easier to find what you're looking for, and instead of searching for a needle in a haystack, you will simply open a gallery of images you already liked in the first place so that you can choose your absolute favorites. I hope this episode will motivate you to edit your collection a bit and let us know in the comments what challenges you face while working on your library. Subscribe to our channel for more and check out the Adorama Learning Center for some more tips and tutorials. This was Marcin Lewandowski for Adorama TV. See you next time.